warm welcome. You've tuned into this special show on CNBC TV 18 and I'm Nitya Balakrishnan. Just a few weeks ago, we brought you an exclusive sneak peek into the first India store of what is arguably one of the most popular shopping brands across the globe, Swedish home furnishing giant IKEA's store in Hyderabad. And today, we bring you exclusive conversation with the top global management at IKEA. Just hours before the Hyderabad store is thrown open to the public, we caught up with CEO at IKEA, Jesper Brodin, and began by asking him what it meant for his company to finally come here to India.
The market potential has been there, and as India with one of the oldest, longest cultures in the world, but a young nation with a quick development, every year that goes by, the opportunity for life at home increases. So we have, our appetite has been increasing, and at the same time the collaboration with local government representation and also the India representation has been tremendous, because the preconditions were not there some years ago for us to open, which led us from a cost perspective and risk perspective not ready. But together with a good collaboration we have been able to find ways which I think will be great for IKEA and certainly great for India.
Well, if I can ask you, Jesper, if looking back you would say, you know, these were the top challenges before entering into India, was policy instability one of them? And has that changed now? For players like yourself, global giants, is India now an emerging market that you cannot ignore?
Well, definitely. India is, with 1.3 billion people plus, one of the fastest developing economies. All the facts are there, so to say. But to your point, I wouldn't say policy instability, but uncertainty some decades ago, where there is, today it's a super strong commitment throughout India for progress that has to, of course, go hand in hand with many aspects and interest in society. But today it's a braver India, and it's a more open India that is more committed to the progress. So we feel like a partner, we feel like a part of that transition. Well,
keeping the spotlight on the relationship between IKEA and India, if I were to ask you your plans for expansion here in India initially, and of course for all our viewers on CNBC TV 18, the numbers, the math behind that, what's the kind of investment you're going to be pumping into our country?
We have already invested 4.5 billion euro. And we will continue the coming years, of course, as we take IKEA to new cities, as we step into e-commerce to increase that investment level. So, and the commitment that we make is not short-term, it is long-term. It will take us a couple of years to get volumes, to get economy of scale here. But this is the starting point. And now, if we have talked about the relationship with the authorities, with suppliers, producers in India. Now, tomorrow, starts the relationship with customers. And that will be the most important, where we are, of course, the most important commitment for us to provide affordable and inspiring home furnishing solutions that works in India.
Absolutely. You've mentioned e-commerce, so are we going to see in India at least IKEA products being available online soon, and how soon can we expect that?
So our ambition is to already in 2019 be able to provide e-commerce. We're working hard with a lot of practicalities to make that come true. And I think there's a fair chance that quite soon that will be an opportunity.
Well, Jesper, before I talk to you about global plans, really, as far as India is concerned, there's been many firsts of sorts for IKEA, the largest restaurant, the first time you're going to be looking at door delivery of products, etc. So talk to us really about how you've adapted IKEA's ideologies to suit the Indian customer.
For me, I'm convinced that the biggest learning for us from India is actually related to quality. So the Indian home is dynamic. It's a lot of people, it's a lot of love, it's a lot of coming together, it's a lot of cooking. And if you take that in combination with one of the driest and most humid climates in the world, it has put a lot of demands back on us, actually, to fulfill the quality standards. So the interesting thing is that it wasn't a strategy, but the fact is that India has helped IKEA to become better in quality. Then, what do we want to do differently in India? Of course, we have, even if human needs we find, and I travel the world and I always do home visits, human needs are the same. The trends are similar. People live in smaller and smaller spaces, etc.
Absolutely.
But for us, we have done more than 1,000 home visits in order to truly understand what are the needs and demands from the Indian customers. So when you come to the store, the environments, the homes that we have built here, they reflect our version of India and Indian homes.
Nice.
And we want to flirt with the Indians to not only provide the expected, but something that can enhance life quality, but also to do that in an affordable way.
You mentioned affordability, so if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be your most cost-effective market, probably one of your cheapest markets across the globe. How important was pricing when you chose India? Because it's a very sensitive economy.
Absolutely. To be honest, I would say that India, from a cost perspective, in the beginning, is a challenge because. Stepping into India, it's a nation, but it's almost a continent. It's geographically so big that logistic will pose challenges. And when we don't, in the beginning, until we have some certain volumes, we will be under pressure from cost.
Sure.
What we've done is we made a strong commitment. So in the diversity of India, not only from ethnicity, languages, etc., but also from income, which is, I believe, is the widest that we have ever been exposed for. We have worked so that 1,000 products out of the 7,500 products will actually be available for under 200 rupees. 500 will be under 100 rupees.
Right.
These have been some of the most difficult challenges for us to actually provide good quality in that price range.
Absolutely. If I were to talk about import duties, then does that continue to be a cause of concern as far as India is concerned? Are you in talks with the government to actually look at?
Yeah, we are. We are talking. We're having an amazing dialogue, and it's a very intelligent dialogue where we all understand the transition India is into. Our point of view, and we might be wrong, but it is our point of view, is that it would be better to incentivize production, automation, modernization, rather than penalizing imports.
Sure.
Because in the end of the day, customers will be the one who have to pay for that. But we also have to express our humble respect for that. Leading India in a transition is not easy.
Correct.
And of course, there has to be also respect for protecting interest, and that the change of the pace of change is manageable. Yeah.
Well, that
But
automatically...
if you ask me, I would rather not have the duties.
Yeah, fair enough.
And if we did it, we would lower our prices, we would sell more, we would provide more jobs. So let's see.
Let's see. The dialogue is on, and we can see what the government decides to do on that. But that automatically leads me to my next question, which is, as far as sourcing is concerned, how much are you currently sourcing from India? Are you looking to scale that up significantly in order to maybe even bring down costs for the Indian customer?
Absolutely. Sourcing, the question comes very often, what is the share of sourcing? That is the outcome. The goal for us is to land a product at the lowest possible price in a store. Already, luckily, we have been for many years sourcing textiles, plastic, metal products in India. So we had a good start. Thanks to the first store, we have been able to bring in production not only of mattresses, sofas, and some more products, but also a lot of food opportunities have been brought up. And as we get bigger and as we drive economy of scale, there will be opportunities for industrial setups that we don't have today.
Sure.
But it has to be world class, because you're part of a global market from a sourcing perspective, with of course the advantage of when IKEA's volume is big in the clothes market, there is of course a logistic advantage. So it will grow. How much? Let's see.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Fair enough. What is your favorite India-made product, if I can ask, as far as your choice in IKEA's range is concerned?
This is such a difficult one for me. I love so many products, but I tend to IKEA's design formula is not only about the low price. It is about combining beauty, functionality, and quality, and the low price in one. And when we manage to do that well, it is by far the most difficult design formula. Then I'm super proud. We have a product called Oftast, which means often, because you can use it often. And it's a set of plates, cups, bowls that has a porcelain high-end look and feel, but it's made of white glass in a new technology, and it's available at amazing prices. So it makes me very proud.
Well, fantastic. Jesper, another thing that's unique to India is, incidentally, initially you mentioned 25 stores by 2025, but we're already hearing probably more because they're going to be smaller format stores. Talk to us about how important that is for the Indian market, because diversity is the key here.
Yeah. No, you can say, first of all, we open tomorrow our first store, and lots of learning is coming our way from tomorrow. We have the spade in the ground in Mumbai. We have 4 sites acquired in total. We're looking for the next 4 and 5. Yeah. What the most likely scenario is that we will continue to look for a flagship store footprint, at least one, maybe several around the big cities. But as urbanization is speeding up in the world, and even more so in India, we also have to look into how can we serve people who don't have transportation means and so on. So thereby we will also test and try different formats. These are not yet conceptualized and proven, so it will be a lot of development and innovation. I'm sure some failures, but also some successes. And India is the perfect market for us to try that in.